Is going through the toughest times in decades. A country that once thrived, where Buenos Aires was considered the pearl of Latin America, now stands on the brink of economic collapse. Record inflation, rising national debt, a budget deficit that has exceeded all acceptable limits. All of this has undermined trust in the government. Now, on the eve of elections, President Javier Milei faces a catastrophe. His approval rating has fallen below 25%. And according to Clarín and La Nación, even among his supporters the word disappointment is increasingly heard. It seemed that Milei was supposed to become the symbol of a new Argentina, an anarcho-capitalist, a fighter against bureaucracy and corruption, a man who promised to cut spending, dismantle the old system, and restore economic freedom to the country. But reality has been ruthless. Promises turned into debt, reforms stalled, and the people faced rising prices for food, energy, and transport. By autumn, inflation began rising again, and the foreign currency reserves of the Bank of Argentina were depleting. Understanding the seriousness of the situation, the White House intervened. According to Bloomberg, the Donald Trump administration approved an emergency financial aid package for Argentina worth $20 billion. This money was intended to stabilize the peso and prevent the economy from defaulting. Washington hoped that such assistance would strengthen Milei's position, as he had repeatedly stated that Argentina was returning to the West. He became one of the few Latin American leaders to openly support Trump and his foreign policy. But nothing went according to plan. Behind the scenes, what no one speaks about publicly began to unfold. According to Reuters and the Argentine publication Perfil, Milei has been conducting secret negotiations with Chinese representatives for several weeks. This involves a new line of credit offered by Beijing on remarkably favorable terms, at 1.2% per year, with deferred payments and the possibility of conversion into yuan. China offered not just a loan, but effectively a lifeline for Argentina. According to sources cited by the Financial Times, the negotiations were mediated by the People's Bank of China and the Development Bank of Latin America. China is ready to provide Argentina with up to $15 billion in targeted loans for infrastructure projects, energy reforms, and equipment purchases. For Milei, this is a chance to patch the budget gap without cutting social programs or raising taxes, exactly what the IMF and American advisors have demanded. However, this move has become a political earthquake. Milei has long been a supporter of the United States, a man who openly expressed sympathy for Trump, called himself a friend of Washington, and labeled China an authoritarian power. But now, with the crisis reaching a critical point, ideology